I would say, Harald, from my experience, you need to be resilient. Don't give up. They will listen to you.
Hello and welcome to the CSO Impact Podcast, where we talk to leaders in sustainability. We're discussing how we can work in a way that makes a positive impact on the planet. I'm your host, Harald Neidhardt, and in this episode we talk to Inês Oom de Sousa, President of the Santander Foundation Portugal, and one of the authors of our book, Leadership for Sustainable Futures. Inês, so great to have you as a fellow Portuguese. Thank you very much for being here with us. How are you today?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much for the invitation, Harald. It's a pleasure to be here and to participate in this conversation.
Thank you so much. So let's start about your current role. You had so many, and your journey has been vast with this company and with different functions. But let's start in the beginning, where you are right now. So let's talk about the role as president of the Santander Foundation in Portugal. So can you tell us just a little bit about the foundation and maybe some of the initiatives you're working on right now?
Okay, so right now I'm the president of the Santander Foundation at Portugal. We have created this foundation 2 years ago, so we are very young. And our main focus is education. So in education, we have 3 pillars. One of them is how to support and to contribute to a better education for persons with above 17 years old and lifelong learning. So we have lots of courses and scholarship that we give. We support around 100,000 people per year. So it's one of our biggest focus, not only at Santander Foundation in Portugal, but at the Santander Group. And then we have a second pillar, which is we want every children to get the higher education as they can, and they get the right skills and the competence of the future. So it's they must be creative. They have to be able to problem solving, and they have to be collaborative and have very good communication skills. And then we have a 3 pillar, which is some programs of literacy. And in these programs of literacy, we are focused also in 3 different areas. The first one is financial literacy, which is one of the biggest flagship of our foundation. We have digital literacy, and we have ESG literacy. And in this ESG literacy, what we do is we help companies to go to do the right transition to a more green economy. So we have a partnership with university. We offer scholarships and we offer training so that corporates can go with and do all the transition that they need to do to have a better company for the planet. How
many companies are already enrolled, or you have a pilot program since 2 years, starting with the first couple? How can we think about that?
So in terms of corporates that are enrolled regarding this specific ESG literacy or this specific program, we have just launched a partnership with a university in Portugal. We have created a Center of Sustainable Finance. So it's an institute that we have just created, the Santander Foundation, with a partnership with a local university, which is Católica. And we have just launched 2 days ago. And we have already 3,000 companies that want to participate. It's free, so it's a very good sign for the Portuguese companies and the economy that everyone wants to be helped. And as you know, in Portugal, the SMEs companies, they don't have resources and they don't know how to begin and how to do the transition. So it's a very good one of our mission. It to help companies to do this pathway. Yes.
Fantastic. I mean, what a great start. That's 3,000. Wow. It's really cool. Congratulations. Also working with this prestigious university. So let's talk about you. So how did you land in this role, and maybe tell us a little bit about the journey to get to where you are right now?
I started in the financial system 30 years ago. So it's quite a long time. And I work at Santander for almost 30 years. and I've been in very different areas. But my main focus was corporates. So all the products for corporates, transactional banking, international business, and so on. So after being the chief of the CEO, I was invited to be a board member, executive board member of Santander. I was the first woman at the board member with 7 men, so it was a big challenge for me. And in this, when I was executive board member, I had all the products and services for corporates and for retail. So I had mortgage, personal loans, insurance, and so on. I had also marketing, responsible banking, sustainability, universities. So I had a lot of different areas. And after being there for 6 years, I went to Europe. I was responsible for ESG in Europe, and it was really very good period because I had to coordinate Portugal, Spain, UK, and Poland. And it was really a big challenge to create this new area, ESG, and have all the taxonomy, all the challenges regarding communication and what was the best offer for our clients. So it was really a very good experience to coordinate 4 different countries. And well, I think it was really a very good experience and a very good challenge. After that, we have just created this Santander Foundation, so I left the bank itself and the executive area, and now I'm only at the Santander Foundation in Portugal with our mission to transform people's life and corporate's life and helping them with the sustainability issues.
What a great career, first of all. And, you are the right person to start this education endeavor, I think, because you come from the ESG, so it's not something foreign to you. Now, you say the focus is on education. And but can you tell us a little bit about, besides this successful start that you just mentioned with Católica, what is maybe some of the big achievements in setting up the foundation and doing this just for the last 2 years already? Was this such a successful start?
So, as I told you, education, we have 3 different pillars. So the first one, supporting education above 17 years old and lifelong learning. This is a project that the Santander Group has already for 26 years old. So we invest around 100 million per year in all the universities around the world. Wow. And then on the second pillar, where we are being very focused here in Portugal, we have lots of partnerships. So we want to get some partnership for other international foundations. For instance, we have a partnership with Lego Foundation, because they are very focused on education, early education. So we have established an agreement with them, and they are coming here. They were here 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, to give some training to our teachers in Portugal. Because as I told you, we have some social problems in terms of education in Portugal, and I just give you 2 numbers. The first one is 37% of our active population, so it's almost 40%, they only have the basic education, so it's very, very low. And according to the OECD, so half of the children will stay with the same level of education of the parents. So Portugal is at the bottom in terms of mobility, social economic mobility. So one of the main issues that we want to contribute to solve here at Santander Foundation is let's give all the children the possibility to have a higher education and with the right skills. We have also made a partnership with HK Foundation. So our main objective is we want every foundation that works with education, let's bring them to Portugal and let's make the difference in the education here at Portugal and give the opportunity to every children to have this experience and to have a better life with better salaries and better jobs.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, that's a really commendable endeavor, and that you already do this since so long time. And I think I read in the book that you also were, I think, in charge of the university program before, right? In parallel or sometime during your career?
Yeah, I've been working, I was responsible for all these universities program, I don't know, maybe for eight years. So I know every university here in Portugal and the difficulties. But my main concern is we cannot say that we are an institution or a bank that supports education if we only support those that reach universities. So we want to start earlier. And that's why we are going and we are establishing this partnership with other foundations that works with early education, which, like I said, Lego Education, Aga Foundation, Teach for Portugal. Yeah. So let's work with the children that cannot have the possibilities to go to the universities. Let's help them to have a higher education. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to the economy to be developed in Portugal, because we are going to stay in the very low level of education, you see. So that's our main focus here. But we only have 2 years, Harald. I believe that we are going to make the difference and we are going to transform their lives, but it takes time. But I'm very confident that we'll do it.
Great. I'm excited because education is a big topic, and also education has to change. So it's not only that, well, we're teaching more people the same from the last year. We have to, obviously, now you say, it's ESG, it's digital, and you said that there is a focus on the humanities, let's say, or liberal arts, right? So creativity, and you did not mention AI so far. So maybe there's a follow-up question here. How do you, deal already with AI in this? Or are you saying, well, AI is taking some kind of the functions of jobs, we have to definitely train the human side? Is there already an idea of how do you envision to deal with AI?
So AI, because we are most focused in early education, we are most focused in terms of give the skills to the children to work with AI, not AI itself, but because AI is more for universities. But we have also several partnerships with technology universities. They want to develop this the AI learning and training, and we want to start going and give and take all the schools to go to the universities to have to start getting awareness of what this could be in their lives. So, but they are very young. But we have specific courses just for training STEM people, because we have a lack of STEM people here in Portugal. Yeah. And we are also going to start putting coding in all the schools. So coding should be a language just like Portuguese and English. We have to have coding in the schools. So we have also established a partnership with Code.org, which is an American association, to put coding in every school in Portugal. So this is the beginning of the AI
journey.
Journey. Yes, that's right. But it's something that we are very worried about, but it's a long way.
Yeah, it's a long way. Okay, and speaking of a long way, let's maybe switch to the other journey and the role of your former career, which you just ended, in January, and you've been one of the nominees of the CSO Awards in Europe in January, so when you were still in the role. And so you were working as the head of ESG in Europe at Santander Bank for the last couple of years, and directly focus on the sustainability issues in general. And you said sustainable banking, working from the banking part into the ESG part. So maybe can you just give a little bit of some characteristics of your role, and maybe how do you define yourself as a leader in that position, and maybe what makes a good leader in sustainability even. So tell us a little bit about the role as the ESG leader.
Okay, so I am the proof that the role of the ESG evolved from sustainability, social responsibility, for something different. So because for I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I was just social responsibility. I will always care about only donations. So evolved. I'm the proof of that. So, and I think every big company is going to evolve also. So this is not anymore social responsibility. It's much more than this. We have to have a strategy, and it's not going to be a strategy for ESG and a strategy for the company. We have to have a integrated strategy. So we have to be much more awareness of what can we do. The profit, we need to do profits and have profit and have results. but we need to do it in the right way. And we have to be concerned about the planet and the people, and we have to have a purpose. So I think that the role of the CSO is going to evolve for sure. It's a long way, and I think the only way to have a more important role is to be the CEO of the company. If you are the CEO of the company, I'm sure we are going to have a ESG strategy implemented in all the geography. The biggest challenge that I had it was not implementing the IT platform or the information or the communication. It was changing the culture of all the corporates and all the areas and involving everyone. This is not a problem for the ESG head. It's a problem of everyone. It was the biggest challenge that I had. And the way that we solve it was putting ESG in our variable remuneration. So we have put it because everyone moves for incentives. So if you have an incentive that we have ESG KPIs, for sure everyone will going to do it. And the second one is having public commitments. So we have public commitments for the environment, for the social, and for the governance. And we follow all the commitment that we have in each country. And I think this is why the culture and it was very accelerated, and everyone at Santander know exactly what we need to do in terms of environment, in terms of social, and in terms of governance. So I think that the main part for me, the two issues that we need to have in every company, and it's not the case in Portugal, is let's have a remuneration that is connected with the ESG KPIs, the first one, and the second one, let's have public commitments. If you have these two, I think that it will be very easy for the ESG head to get everyone at the company involved, for sure. It's not the case in Portugal because there are lots of people that don't have ESG KPIs in terms of remuneration. But I think that's the way we can accelerate the role of the CSO.
When you started setting up some of, let's say, maybe call this governance structure, what was maybe some of the first initiatives to tackle? Was it the reporting? Was it, I don't know, taking some data in to understand where you are, or going from policy? How was, let's say, the first maybe 1 or 2 years when you started it? What was the first thing to address?
So the first one was creating a IT platform so that we could mark all the operation. We need to mark what was the green operation that we are doing in mortgage or wherever, mobility, circular economy, agriculture. So we have established 5 different business lines. So the first one was the platform. We have to invest in technology, that's for sure. The second biggest challenge was data. It was very difficult to collect data and to make sure that they are accurate. Okay, so otherwise it will be very difficult to be transparent. So the main objective of the regulation is to be transparent, but we need to have data, and it must be accurate. Otherwise, we are going to be compared with other industries and companies that do not have the same data as we do. And the third one was communication, have a site and a platform to communicate what we do, what we are going to have it. And the fourth one was what should be our value proposition for the clients, for corporates and for individuals. A mortgage, it should be, mortgage is one of the products. The other one is the credit should be aligned with the KPIs of the ESG of the companies. And so I think it was, we have worked in different areas. And the last one, it was the risk. We have implemented an ESG panel. So every operations in every country in Europe were analyzed in the same committee. So it will be much easier for everyone to understand, to learn, and to grow up in terms of knowledge about what is ESG and what is the because one of the main concerns of the bank, it was greenwashing, and we cannot not do anything related to that.
You said already that you're a good testament to the involvement of the Chief Sustainability Officer, and in fact, your title was in the beginning. You said probably it was CSR, then now Head of ESG. So, what is the what is your thinking about the term ESG? Even we know in the US it's a lot under pressure because they say, that BlackRock tried this 2 years ago. That didn't go anywhere. So ESG is out. Now we have new acronyms and science-based targets and CSRD and a lot of different policies. But this ESG is for some people is a really red flag. But let's say mostly on the other side of the ocean. So what's your view on that? And left the position of head of ESG, would you rather be called now Chief Sustainability Officer if you still had the role?
I know there's lots of different opinions. I think Santander, before ESG was more, known as ESG, I think the main issue here is we have to have results, but we have to do it in the right way. So everything we do in environment, it's an issue. We need to align our portfolio credit. We cannot do more credit for companies that are not aligned with the environment issue. And social, we need to support the community. We need to invest in education. It's the only way to help really people to have a better life. And in governments, we need to have more women at board. We need to have a zero pay gap between women and men. So more than what is DSG, I think doing the right thing and having results on the right and doing things better for everyone, for the planet, for the people, and for the company itself. Having a purpose there's no doubt that's going to continue to be the trend of every company to be sustainable. It's not an issue itself, right? So everyone should have the strategy in their own company to do what they need to do to have a better company.
And you said already that, a bank has a crucial role in potentially finally also divesting from clients that are no longer in line, whether they do fossil fuel or other things which are not good, because ultimately it will come down also to your own ESG rating from Moody's or so, saying, this kind of bank, has so many clients, they have stranded assets, so you lose your rating. I know it's no longer your position, so let's say, how is your view on the speed of, let's call it the banking sector, not even mentioning your own company? Do you see some traction? Is this fast enough, or is it only a couple of banks doing good work and others are still falling?
No, I think everyone has the same trend. So everyone is doing an commitment with the environmental issue. So more than cutting the credit for some companies that are not complying or they are not doing what we think we should do for the planet, for instance, I think our mission is to help people or corporates to have the transition. So we are more focused on helping them to do this in the right way and helping them to know what is the best business model, the best automation, helping them to go to this transition that cutting the credit because they are not doing the things. So it's not, the problem is not do the things bad or worse that they should, is helping them to go and follow the trends, and we are going to be there to help them. That's our main mission. It's not anything else.
Last question, maybe to the banking and finance sector. We know that we work on climate, we work on ESG policies and so on, and the big one is now biodiversity, which sometimes it's a very important. It's easy to understand. We have to protect the nature, but sometimes it might be hard to understand. Well, as a company, we just do what we do, and there's a couple of trees out here, but it's not our role to do it. So, But that's obviously a lot of people see that totally different. Say, no, if you are importing things, now we have rules for declaring if your products harm any trees in the other parts of the world, which got a little delayed, I think. So is there a view on the topic of biodiversity that the bank and you have maybe?
Yes. Our ESG strategy, or the strategy of the bank, is based on the materiality assessment. And as you know, we ask all the stakeholders, the employees, the shareholders, everyone. We have a materiality index, and we follow what our stakeholders want us to do. And one of them is they are very concerned about biodiversity. So 2 years ago, the main focus was cybersecurity and protecting our data. Nowadays, also, the main one are these two, cybersecurity and protecting the data, but also financial health, biodiversity. So our stakeholders, all of them, are much more concerned about that. So our strategy is based on this maturity assessment. So it's going to be easy for us. If this is what our stakeholders want us to do, this is what we are going to do it.
Now, you started when you said the role of the CSO has also a lot to do with culture, the company culture. What are maybe other roles or other, let's say, qualities in the role of a CSO? What would you maybe say to somebody young who says, maybe I can go to an NGO, do impact, or, join a corporate and work in the CSO team and then maybe go up the rank to become the future CSO. What kind of tips would you give somebody? What kind of qualities is important in this job?
I would say, Harald, from my experience, you need to be resilient. Don't give up. They will listen to you.
At one point.
And you have to have very huge communication skills, because it's very important to have network and put everyone in the organization in the same way as you think that we should do. And we have to be creative, and we have to have a strategic vision to innovate. We need to adapt regarding everything. It's not only regulation, but even the business must be changed. So, but I would say that the most characteristic, it should be resilience and communication skills. And don't give up, because this is what I really think that for me it was very important. They will listen to you. It's a question of time.
And thanks for breaking the glass ceiling that you were the first woman on the board, and there's now people coming after you, following your hard work, and the persistence and the resilience that you showed. So kudos to you. How do you see maybe the role of the CSO evolve over the next couple of years?
I think that it will be more critical. So the CSO, as I said, the CSO should be the next CEO of the companies, and we have talked about it. And I think it's going to be like a maestro, how do you say? So he has to put all the instruments together to play the symphony and what the company should do. And as I said, it's very important not to think only about the profit, but think about people. More and more, the employees, think about the planet, and think about what is the purpose of the company. I think this is the main role of the CSO. It's put everyone thinking the same way. And I like the one sentence that I like the most is culture. It's strategy for breakfast, as you know. And this is one of the main sentences that I really love it, because it's true. Culture, it's strategy for breakfast. So we need to have a very huge and strong culture. And the CSO is the base of the culture of a company. For me, it's no doubt about that. So it should be the CEO.
So you said already that the role of the CSO is almost like a chief sustainability orchestrator. There's all of the people playing in the different, orchestra, they're playing their violins and the piano, but you bring them together. So that's culture, and there's also leadership and communication skills. Now, especially in a how would you maybe summarize this role? Why is this a possibility for a CSO to actually move up? Because you're involved with strategy or all of the different things. You are the better. Is it let's say an emotional quotient, however you say it? Emotional way to look at the company in a different way and different angle. Is there something extra that a CSO can add?
Yes, because I think the CSO has a holistic vision of the business, wherever it's a bank or not, and has a holistic vision of what are the stakeholders' wants, and they have to listen to the stakeholders and to see what they want us to do, every company. And it's not only employees, it's also, as I said, shareholders. Everyone should say what they want us to do, and we should do what they want us to do, not what we want and what we can have more profits. So I think one of the biggest characteristics that the CSO should have is listen. We should listen, everyone. And then we have to have the courage to implement what we think is the right thing. And that's why I think that resilience is one of the most important characteristics that we should have, or the CSO should have. So, because it's the right thing to do. It's not maybe it's not short term, but it's on long term. For no doubt, it's the sustainability of the company to do that. So, I would say more listen than talking, and it's very different. It's a very different thing, saying and acting. Sometimes people say, but they don't act accordingly what they say, and this is very important for all the organization. Well, as I said, culture, it's much more difficult to change than an IT platform. So we need to invest, we need to have time, but for sure it should be a much higher level, like C-suites for sure, and the board member.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this conversation, and for, I enjoyed listening to you. Whoever wants to know a little bit more about Inês, please read her article in this book. Really refreshing. And thank you so much to be and spend time with us here on the CSO Impact Podcast, and hope to see you around very soon.
Thank you very much, Harald. It was a pleasure.